Okay, so this is the third time I'm recording this. I just keep recording it and then I feel like I talk on a question for or on every question for way too long. No, let's start over one more time. Okay. Hello everybody, what's up? My name's emlyewng and this is a podcast that I called the Vegan Propaganda Podcast. And I abandoned it for a long time, haven't made an episode in a long time. This isn't the first time that I've abandoned it, so I apologize for that. And I also just want to warn you that this episode will be a mess, and if you're not interested in listening to a mess, you should just walk away right now. Because, well, first of all, my brain has been melting for quite some time. Losing a lot of brain cells right now. Speaking has become difficult. So I lacking socialization, I'm sure a lot of you guys can relate. And yeah, so it's gonna be weird. But yeah, this is a podcast, if you've never listened to it before, where I talk about vegan stuff, current issues, events, whatever. But this episode is just going to be a Q&A to catch up because I've been gone and because, I don't know, I thought it would be interesting. I get asked a lot of questions in my DMs or whatever, and I'm horrible at getting back to them. DMs stress me out. And so I thought this would be a good idea. And, but I want to ask you guys, to leave me in the comments more things that you want me to talk about in the next episode, though. So, anything that's going on right now that's related to veganism, sustainability, ethical businesses, whatever that you want me to talk about, just leave it in the comments. Doesn't matter. I would like to kind of I don't know where I was going with that sentence, but basically this podcast initially, well, when I started making videos, I never really wanted to make just vegan videos or just have a vegan channel. It's kind of become that because I've kind of gotten stuck in that to where I feel like I can't break out of that. I want to. And I know any of you guys who have been following me for a while have probably gotten annoyed by me because I constantly am like, oh, I want to make this kind of video, and then I never do. And then I'm like, I'm going to start doing these type of video, and then I don't. So I want to break out and do other kinds of videos that are not just vegan related, but it's hard, but we're getting there. We'll do it. 2020, it's going to be the year, okay? I'm saying that right now. How long will it take? Will it not be till December of 2020? I don't know. But 2020, it's going to be the year that I finally break out of vegan YouTube and I do other things. But I wanted this podcast to be something that remains mainly vegan related issues, and I think other ethical issues, ethical business issues are always connected to that, but I'm just meaning generally about veganism, ethical lifestyle kind of stuff, if that's okay with you guys. But yeah, so I don't remember why I said that, but yeah, so just you can send me anything that's interesting that's happening right now. It can be about the vegan YouTube community or even vegan celebrity things that are happening. I don't know what's going on right now. Businesses having any new products or restaurants or anything like that. I know there's not a lot going on with restaurants right now, obviously, but I don't know. Anything that's interesting. If you have more advice type questions, you can still leave them. Not that the next episode is going to be a Q&A, but I can always ask, or I can always answer a few questions at the end of it or something. I don't know. Not exactly sure where I'm going with this. And also, in previous episodes, I don't know about every single one, but I would like show what I'm drinking and what I'm eating. And I was going to do that in this episode, but I already, like I said, I already filmed it and then quit and started over. So I've already drank most of it, but I did have a matcha like latte kind of thing that I made for myself with oat milk and a little bit of maple syrup as a sweetener. That's what I've been drinking a lot lately, in case anyone is interested. I've also been sometimes making the same thing but with instant coffee. Those have been my caffeine sources that try to help me get through the day in these sad times. And also I showed these, hopefully I'm not crackling too loud, vegan gummy worms from Sprouts. They are the Sprouts brand and they say vegan on them, which is really cool. It's literally the only reason why I bought them, because I was just like really excited to see gummy worms that said vegan on them. But I don't think I'm going to continue to eat things on the podcast because it's kind of hard to eat and talk at the same time. And especially I know a lot of you guys don't like chewing sounds. So I don't know if I want to deal with that. But the drinking thing is kind of fun. So if you guys have any drinks that you want to recommend me, whether it's like a cool tea drink or something, coffee, I don't know. That could be fun. Because I'm always going to be drinking something so that my like throat, mouth isn't dry, obviously, from talking for so long. But yeah, so this is supposed to be a Q&A episode. I think I already said that to catch up. And let's just get into it. I tried to not prepare too much for this. I started to look at the questions ahead of time and take notes and stuff, but then I was like, no. Because first of all, that's a lot of work, and second of all, I want it to be like more casual. And just like we're having a little chat. So yeah, I'm just gonna try to get into it. All right. So someone asked me, Megan Cannoli asked me, do you still enjoy creating YouTube content? And I saw this question ahead of time along with some other questions about like future YouTube videos and stuff. I think I just said this in this podcast. The previous podcast that I recorded and this one have been meshing together, so it's kind of hard for me to tell like what I've already said and what I haven't. So if I repeat myself, I'm sorry. But yeah, so basically the fact that I do enjoy making content, and this is what I want to do. Like I genuinely want to do this and continue doing this. But I have been, I mean, you guys can tell that like I'm always like apologizing for not posting, and I've never been able to stick to a good schedule, and I always say that I'm going to make certain videos and then never make them, and I always end up making like the same video over and over again. I'm hoping that I can break out of that right now since I'm not in school. Although I'm sure a lot of you guys can relate that it's hard to be motivated right now during quarantine, and just like, yeah, it just sucks. But yeah, so I do enjoy creating content, but I definitely am not happy with what I'm doing right now. I want to make other kinds of content, and I want to stream. And for those of you guys who are like wanting to see when I finally start streaming, I have all the like equipment to do it, and I have like tested it. I'm still having some issues with like the audio. When I've like tested it, it just like cuts out randomly for like 2 minutes and then comes back in. So I'm going to try to figure that out. If not, I'll probably just still like try to stream with the audio issue, and the audio will just cut out. My commentary doesn't cut out, like my actual narration. So that's fine, but the actual game audio, which is pretty annoying. But yeah. And I forgot what I was going to say. But I have also thought about doing like cooking streaming could be fun, because something I struggle with a lot is editing. Not that I'm bad at editing, but the fact that it's really hard for me to, like, sometimes I will film something and then I will try to edit it and I just like hate it. It's hard to watch, or at least for me, it's hard to like watch something that I've created and say, this is good, this is funny, this is good. I don't know, that sounds so stupid, but like, it's hard for me to be the judge of my own self a lot of the time. So like, I will start editing the video and I will just like be cringing at myself, and it'll like demotivate me from continuing to edit it, because I'll just like not want to watch myself for hours and hours and hours and just become sick of myself. And like, it's also hard sometimes when you're trying to be funny on camera, and then when you're editing that footage and you have to hear your own joke 20 times over and over again while you're editing, the joke becomes a lot less funny. And then like, so I feel like a lot of the time I end up editing things out that might have been fine. Like, you guys might have thought they were funny or whatever, but they just become so annoying to me that I have to edit them out, because I'm like, this is so cringy. But like, maybe if I didn't hear it 20 times, I wouldn't have thought it was cringy. You know what I mean? So I think that maybe in the future I should honestly hire an editor. But yeah, because I struggle with procrastinating to edit a lot. Like, I will just like film and film and film, but then put off all of the editing and just film a new one. Yeah, so that's something I have an issue with. But additionally, if I start to do videos that are easier to edit or quicker to edit, in addition to these complicated videos like the What I Eat in a Week videos, then that those will hopefully be easier to like pump out more often, because it's less daunting of a task to edit that kind of footage, whereas my What I Eat in a Week videos can sometimes be like 5 hours or more of footage to edit down to, 30 minutes or whatever, which is something that I procrastinate a lot. But yeah, that's what I wanted to say. So you feel free to keep like pestering me into making other kinds of content, because I need to stop just saying that I'm going to do it and then never doing it. So yeah. Do you ever plan to move out of California? I don't have any interest in moving out of California right now. Like, did I already see, like, I can't remember if I said it in this version or the last version that I deleted, but my plan was supposed to be that I would graduate this semester, spring 2020, and then move out of my parents' house this summer. Like, by the end of this summer, I was supposed to be gone. I've been waiting to move out all of my college life. Not trying to like hate on my parents for 10 minutes, but just like, I just want to be on my own. I wanted to be done with school. I wanted to be out and moved away by now. And so that's something that sucks right now for this COVID time. And I don't want to like ask for pity or like make it sound like my life sucks, because all of our lives suck right now, I think. And I am definitely super privileged right now to be living at my parents' house and like not and also to be having an income source that wasn't hurt by this, So trust me, I do not think that I'm like the one that's suffering right now out of this world, like, but I'm just saying, like, and I talked about this in the other version that I deleted, but I am not going to sit here and tell you, act like I've been really productive during quarantine and I've been like, yeah, this is how I've got through it or whatever. It's like, no, I'm not getting through it. I feel like shit. Like, I'm so unmotivated. My sleeping schedule is gross. Like, I'm not having a good time. I'm sad. I just want to like share food with people and sit next to my friends while watching a movie and go to the movie theater. I like movies, okay? Movies are hard to enjoy right now with people. Yeah, anyways, guys, I think it's makes you guys feel better to hear that I'm sad and having a shit time with this than for me to be like, it's fine. Like, this is how I'm getting through it. This is how I'm staying productive when I'm not. Like, I just want to be honest with you guys that, like, this sucks and I hate it. And I'm sure you do too. But just that, like, I don't know. Like, you're not alone, I guess? I don't know. So, also I've got a couple questions about, like, intuitive eating and, like, guilt, about eating. And that's probably another thing that I should do a video about. Like, I don't know what I would title it. Tips for, like, not losing your mind while trying to eat healthy or something. I don't know. But, I think I know I've gotten a lot of comments over the years from people saying that my videos help them with their eating disorder recovery, or that they really are inspired by my relationship with food. And that's so cool. I never like meant to have a channel. That was never like my goal with my channel, was to help people with eating disorders, because I never thought, like, I've never had an eating disorder specifically. Of course, like in high school, and like somewhat now, but especially like when I was younger, like of course I had like unhealthy eating habits and like was definitely influenced by, unhealthy dieting and whatnot mindset. It's not a good sentence, but not to say that I've never had problems with disordered eating habits or with a disordered mindset about dieting and eating and losing weight and whatnot. I've definitely struggled with that, just like any other young girl or young person. But I've never been in too serious of a situation with an eating disorder. I've never actually been diagnosed with an eating disorder or had my health seriously threatened by one. But, and I forgot where I was going with that. Oh, that's not something that I ever set out to help with, because I just don't think that that's something that I can really speak on. But I think that's awesome that people are getting that out of my videos. Of course, like, just in a general sense, I do want to like encourage a healthier relationship with food, and like never encourage like diet culture or weight loss and things like that. Like, if you want to lose weight, that's fine. That's great. Like, do that. But like, I'm not going to that's never going to be what my channel is about. And yeah, I think the main thing is like just not dieting. Like, for me, I never restrict myself from anything fully. So like, I love ice cream. Ice cream is like my favorite dessert, probably. I could eat it every day if I wanted to. I don't get sick of it. I just love ice cream. But my thing with ice cream, I guess, is that a weird example? I don't know. Is that I'm never going to like say I'm never going to like restrict myself from ice cream or restrict myself from full fat ice cream and just get like Halo Top or something. But obviously I'm also not going to be letting myself eat ice cream every single day. So like I feel like I'm just like going off on a ramble right now, but basically, if I want to have ice cream on a weekday or whatever, I will do that. If we're going to watch a movie and I just feel like having some ice cream, I'll do that. But I will try to just have a little bit, like instead of eating it out of the pint, which I try not to do, I will put, just scoop some in a mug. I'll try to stay like around the serving size. I'm not going to like measure it, I'm not going to be that specific, but I'll just try to like, if the serving is like, there's 3 servings in the pint or 4 servings in the pint, I'll try to get around a third or around a fourth of the carton. And I just try not to eat, like I never restrict myself from dessert, but from dessert fully, but I also am not going to be eating dessert every single day of the week. You know what I mean? That's kind of like my mindset. I don't know how much that helps as like actual advice, but like I'm someone who eats dessert maybe every other day. That might be like a cookie or a serving of ice cream or whatever, a little bit of candy. But I just think that if you are going to like restrict yourself and say, I can't have any dessert, or the only desserts that I can have are these like really healthy, low fat, low sugar desserts, then I mean, for a lot of people and for me, like that often leads to binging on unhealthy things once you just, get sick of it. And so my method is just like, I allow myself to have those things, just like always within reason. And I try to, and not that I'm against like healthy desserts. I love like healthy desserts and getting like, things that are a little lower in fat or lower in sugar or whatever, or having like nice cream sometimes instead of having ice cream. But I also eat the unhealthy like junk food things on occasion as well. Yeah, I also like generally, I've probably talked about this on my channel before, but I try to stay really healthy in like within the week, especially my breakfasts. And then toward like on the weekend, Friday night, Saturday, Sunday, I will eat more junk food and kind of like like I already don't restrict myself too much, but I just kind of like, that's when I let go if I'm going to let go. So I don't know, that's such vague advice, but basically to never restrict yourself from anything fully, just like try to keep it within reason. So like eat, if you have a craving for something, eat the thing. Just eat, a serving size or a reasonable portion of it. And also another thing I guess is like, if you have like, say like a junk food, like a candy or whatever, then that you really like, then like it's okay to buy that, and like have it in your house, but just don't like leave it somewhere where you're going to go through it like really fast, Like I sometimes have snacks like underneath my desk right here on like a shelf. And then I'm like, maybe I shouldn't do that, because I will just end up eating them like when I'm not even hungry. Like I just see it and then I just eat the whole bag because it just sounded good, but I'm not even hungry. I'm just eating them mindlessly. And not only is that like a waste of money, but it's also just, it's, if it's a junk food, then obviously it's not good for you. So I just kind of try to keep junk food all in the same place so that you can, I guess like if you have that craving, you can come to it, but it's not gonna like be there just like taunting you, so you start eating it mindlessly. I don't know. But yeah, okay. And I should I could explain that better maybe in a video, but hopefully that made some sense. Okay. For more questions. What's your opinion on Carol Baskin? I never watched the show, so sorry. She seems bad, but I would still be more concerned about the guy than her, because from what I've seen, like he seems a lot worse, but then people are just like shitting on her because I don't know, probably misogyny. When I think they should both be in trouble. Although I've also heard that like she was like super young, like maybe even underage. I don't remember. No, maybe she was just super young. But when she got with the husband that people are claiming that she killed, and so not to say it's like his fault she killed him, but I'm just saying like I think, you know, that's something to look into. That just like that always makes it seem like there's a lot more going on than we would know if she's like so much younger than him when they first got together. That maybe it's, you know, was okay. I'm not gonna talk about that because I don't even know what I'm talking about. But someone said, "Do you watch anime? What's your favorite if you do?" I used to watch anime a lot in high school, and I stopped. Not because I don't like anime anymore. I just like, I don't know. I don't watch a lot of shows unless people like force me to watch them, or I'm just like in a weird mood and I'll binge a whole show and like not watch any show again for like 2 months. That's just the way that I function. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. Do I have anything to recommend? I liked Madoka Magica. I liked like my mind just like went blank. I can't think of anything else. I liked Attack on Titan. I think I only watched like 2 seasons though. I used to like sports animes. I literally can't think of any. Whoops. It's fine. I do want to get back into anime though, so if you want to recommend me things, especially if they're on like Netflix or Hulu, then feel free. Um what do you want done with you when you die? I want to be cremated and made into like a tree, how they like make your ashes fertilizer for like a tree or whatever. That's what I want. I don't care where the tree is. I don't know. The tree should probably be somewhere that has to do with me, I guess. But also I don't really care. I don't know. I just don't want to be buried. I think that's, don't get me wrong. Like I'm not gonna, I don't want to get into that conversation. Okay. Would you ever get a tattoo? I really want one of my cat. Cowboy emoji. You should do that. I have wanted for a very long time to have like a sleeve of like fruits and vegetables. Like just like slowly build it up over time. Not ever like go in and get like a chunk of the sleeve done, but like basically like one day go in and get like an avocado right here, and then like a while later get like a banana down here or whatever, and just like build it up so that eventually it's a whole like sleeve of fruits and vegetables. I don't know if I stand with that still, but I definitely want some tattoos at least. That's why I thought it'd be cool to do it slowly, so that like at a certain point maybe I just have like some tattoos here and there, and if I want to stop there, that's cool. But if I want to continue and make it a sleeve, then I can. My main source of protein, except for nuts, I eat a lot of legumes on the regular, so I love tofu, but I will go like a lot of weeks where I don't eat tofu at all. Just because it's more complicated to prepare. It's not hard, but it's obviously more complicated than just like rinsing off some beans. But yeah, for breakfasts, my protein source is usually nuts, seeds, and maybe soy milk if I'm having soy milk. But then for lunches and dinners, I eat a lot of beans, especially black beans and chickpeas. I also eat a lot of lentils. I just think they're super easy to prepare. And they're good. Yeah. So, oh yeah, so I didn't talk about this in this version yet, but I people always ask me about like when I went vegan and stuff like that. So hopefully there's not a lot of you that already know this and so it's boring for you. But when I was in high school, a freshman in high school, when I was like 13, 14, my brother was already vegan. He's not vegan anymore, but he is still like eating mostly plant-based foods. I know people ask about that, but anyways, at the time he was vegan. He was even like getting into raw vegan and stuff like that. You know, that's another discussion for another day. But he really wanted me and the rest of our family to be vegan, but he knew that I would be a lot more accepting of that persuasion than our parents would. So he kind of like targeted me with like slaughterhouse videos and stuff, like trying to get me to get into it. And at first I just wanted to be vegetarian, and I basically said I'm never going to be vegan, but like I'll stop eating meat because of the slaughterhouse videos. Like I just literally like was like, oh, okay, I won't eat meat anymore. It didn't take much for me. And because I had already I've grown up raised Catholic and Lutheran, so I've done like there had been a couple years where I gave up meat for Lent, and it was like way easier than I thought it would be. So I already had like experience with like not eating meat, and so I was already not that concerned about giving it up. So yeah, I gave up meat for a few weeks. I slowly evolved into veganism during that year. But I was going to talk about, and this has to do with other questions that people have asked me, but that I called myself vegan and I like identified as a vegan, but I think some people would have argued that I wasn't technically vegan because, for example, I would eat out at a restaurant and I would not ask as many questions as like I do now, or that like most vegans ask. For example, if I went to like an Indian restaurant, for example, I would like order from the vegetarian entrees or whatever, the vegetable based entrees. I would order rice with it and I would order naan. But like I wasn't asking like, oh, is there butter in this? Oh, is there, whatever. I wasn't asking all those questions. I was kind of just like going off of like what was more obvious that wasn't vegan about a meal, Like I wasn't gonna, if something said it had cheese on it or mayo or meat or whatever, I would ask for it without it, or I would get something else. But hold on, my phone is dying. But so I wasn't concerned about those things in the beginning. And I ask a lot more questions now when I'm ordering food, but I wanted to say that like that's something that I tell people all the time when they're new to veganism or interested in it or whatever, just that I don't think it's that important in the beginning, especially. Like I think everyone should ease into it, because I think you're way more likely to stick with it if you act like that in the beginning than if you go all in at once. It's so much more overwhelming, and I've just seen it many times that people are so much more likely to give up when they try to do it like 100% all at once than if they like ease into it that way. And so yeah, that's just like, I guess, some advice for the people that are asking me about stuff like that. Sorry, my mom texted me. Okay. Boop, boop, boop. What's my favorite smell? Probably, I like vanilla scented things. And like coffee scented things. I like food smells, but not fruit. I don't like fruity and flowery smells. I like lavender. That's that. That's that on that. Some people were asking about my music taste or what I've been listening to. My favorite artists right now are Charli XCX and Christine and the Queens. Charli XCX's album Charli and Christine and the Queen's album Chris. Two of my favorite albums of all time. I've been listening to them like on repeat recently. I never get sick of them. Amazing, show-stopping, talented. I don't know the rest of that meme, but yeah, incredible. I also love Charli's Quarantine album too, but not as much as her Charli album. And I will link a playlist in the description. Let me know if I forgot to link it. But I've been making some playlists for people, like friends and my cousin, lately. Just like personalized based on their music taste that I think they have. Basically, during quarantine, it's like if I get into a conversation with someone where I'm like, you should listen to this, you should listen to this, and I'm like, they're not gonna listen to it, then I'm like, I'll make them a playlist, and maybe that'll guilt them into actually listening to these things. So I basically made a playlist that was those three playlists all combined. So it's basically just like all the music that I've been trying to push on people right now, / the music that I've been listening to right now on repeat. So if you want to listen to that, it'll be in there. If you need more music, it's like 200 songs long. So, also one of my favorite artists of all time, Stevie Wonder. Also Fleetwood Mac. I think sometimes when I talk about Stevie Wonder or like say he's like one of my favorite artists, people think I'm joking. But like Stevie Wonder is like literally like one of the best singers of like all time, and I think he deserves a lot more recognition. Yeah, we're not talking about Stevie Wonder enough. No, but really, like if I feel sad and like a Stevie Wonder song comes on, like mood lightened. So yeah. Yeah, I like a lot of like 80s music, 70s music, but also like I listen to like indie and rap and experimental pop music. I guess that's my music taste. I don't know. Yeah. So yeah. Okay. Gosh dang it. I don't remember I can't think of what I talked about in this episode versus the one that I recorded before that I deleted, but favorite Charli song. P.S. Marry Me. Thank you. Yeah, I never know how to respond to things like that because it's like I usually just say like okay, because I think that's funny. It's not funny, but I don't know what else to say. Especially like usually the people who say stuff like that, like they're like marry me or like date me or whatever, which is like, you don't know me. I'm so much more pathetic in real life, okay? I promise you. But like it's like it's like their spam account and like the picture is like not them, and it's like not their real name isn't even there, and I'm just like, it's just funny because imagine if I actually was like, yeah, but it's like, okay, that was uninteresting conversation. But you get the point. They are an enigma. I'm trying to think my favorite Charli song. I can tell you some that are my favorite Charli songs. Next Level Charli, for sure. Gone, featuring Christine and the Queens. Track 10. Unlock It, minus the guy, whatever his name is, Jay Park. He fucking ruins the song. I'm always like in such a good mood when that song comes on, and then his part comes on and he says, "Unlock your clothes off you," and I just skip to the next song. I don't want to hear it. Lucky. See, now I'm just listing like every song, but I'll click. Okay, that's enough of that. What inspired you to start your channel? I don't know if I've talked about this before. I feel like I have, but basically I had watched I don't know when I started watching like vegan videos, but when I started going vegan, the vegan YouTube community was not like that big of a deal. There wasn't that like it wasn't nearly as like saturated as it is now, but like within like the first few years of me being vegan, like there certainly it was growing, but it was like so much like high carb, low fat, and like raw tofu and raw vegan and all this stuff. And I at first was like, I kind of went into that a little bit. I never really could stick with it because frick, did I talk about that did I talk about that in this about like intuitive eating and stuff? But like I've never been someone, which is good, but I'm saying I've never been someone who was able to really restrict myself that much. So when I would try to like follow a diet or whatever in high school, it was just like I just wouldn't, like I just would give up so quickly. And that's kind of how I like taught myself that I couldn't do that. So what I needed to do was just like come up with like a vague system of being healthy, rather than trying to restrict myself from anything ultimately. But basically I kind of tried to be somewhat high carb, low fat, or like raw tofu. I wasn't very good at it, but I kind of did. And I always noticed that like, you know, most the vegan YouTubers, or especially the ones that were popular, they lived in LA or they lived in New York or some sort of like city, usually like LA or Southern California, in some place where obviously there's a lot of vegan restaurants and it's just more normal and easy to find things there. Or they would, you know, live in, like there was a lot of Australian vegan YouTubers during that time. And I don't know a lot about Australia. Obviously, I've never been there, but like seemingly they lived in like city-esque places there that had a lot of vegan options available. And if you guys don't know, I live in California, but I live in the Fresno County in Clovis, which is like, it's gotten a lot better over the years. Like, don't get me wrong, but like, it's not a hip place in California. Like, it's kind of known as like the Midwest of California. So, very conservative and yeah, suburban. The only thing that's really good though is that it's a agriculture. I had a word and I lost the word, but basically big on agriculture here. So tons of like fresh produce, high quality produce. That's never an issue. So in that way, I've always been very privileged. But like as far as vegan restaurants and stuff, like no. So especially at the time, like there was literally one vegan restaurant here, and it's on the other side of town. But what was I saying? I don't even freaking know. Oh yeah. So I wanted to be like, I wanted to like represent people who lived in not cool places. So that was like the main motivation for it. And at first I was kind of trying to do like high carb, low fat videos. And I've privated some of them since then just because I don't want to like encourage that. But yeah, so I started with that for a little bit, and then I was like, my motivation kind of changed because I was like, once I was eating more like normal vegan, going back to my normal diet where I was eating like, you know, a significant amount of fat and oil and also like junk foods and stuff, then I was like, okay, I want to be representation for people who eat more normally and like aren't wanting to do any diet. They just want to be vegan. They're just vegan for ethical reasons. They might care about health, but that's not, you know, their whole thing. And so yeah. And also like I know it depends on who you ask. Like I'm sure some of you guys think I am very thin and some of you guys would consider me not like would consider me thicker, I guess. I don't know. Like obviously to myself, I think I look normal cuz I think a lot of people think they look normal or I don't know what I'm saying. But basically that especially at the time, I think I've lost some weight since then, but like and especially like being younger, I was like more insecure about my body, and so I also wanted to kind of be someone who wasn't like super skinny because like at the time it was what I'm saying is like I'm not saying like I'm sure a lot of you guys think that I'm would consider me thin too, so I'm still like the epitome of like the face of veganism or whatever, like a thin white girl, and I'm even somewhat blonde, so you know that's something. But like at the time I felt like I was doing something good for representation of like a more normal bodied vegan because at the time it was like Cena O'Neill and Bonnie Rebecca and Freely and stuff, and while we're all white girls, like they were super skinny, like model looking bodies, and so yeah, I wanted to be someone who was more like normal looking, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, did I talk about that way too long? I don't know, but I just wanted to represent like normal people. So yeah. And yeah. I don't know if I have anything else to say about that. And what is your favorite TikTok and why? I don't know. One favorite TikTok? I think my likes are public if you want to just see the TikToks that I like. I do have letterboxd. If anyone is a letterboxd stan. My username I think is just emlyewng, like any other account, I'm pretty sure. But I have not been updating it like at all lately. I want to start again, but yeah. So some people have asked me about like what I've been eating during lockdown, quarantine, whatever you want to call it. I recently was doing a video like this past week. I was filming a video, so that's, you know, I was eating certain things for that like theme or whatever. But before then, when I was eating just whatever, I was doing a lot of I was doing like my normal smoothie like every day. Like I was super routine about that. Although occasionally I do like, so I do my normal smoothie like almost every day, where it's the berries slash cherries, frozen banana, spinach or kale, usually spinach, soy milk or almond milk. Soy milk or oat milk, some hemp seeds if I have them, some peanut butter, and that's it. But I occasionally, if I have some other sorts of fruits like mango, peaches, plums, strawberries, something like that, then I'll occasionally do a smoothie that's more just like greens, a little bit of frozen banana. If I have yogurt, I'll use some yogurt, then the fruits, then some greens, then some milk, and I won't put peanut butter in it. I'll usually still put hemp seeds in it though, just for some protein. And then for lunch, a lot of the time I had really been getting into avocado toast. But I was making like more like fun avocado toast. I don't know. Like I was doing toasted sourdough bread. So good. Just you have me right there. It's sourdough bread. I can't believe I just said that to myself. And then I would put avocado on that. And then I was using this vegan bacon. Oh, I can't remember the brand. It's from Sprouts, but it's really good. I would just like cook all of it and then leave it in the fridge, because it's good cold if it's cooked. And then I would put that on top of the avocado. I put some tomato slices, maybe some cucumber slices if I have it. Then I put some Sprouts, and then I'd put everything bagel seasoning. Sometimes I would put like hot sauce or crushed red pepper, and then mustard. Either mustard or like squirt some lemon on it. Basically just like some like sourness, like tanginess. And that's so good. Like I was eating that like every day for a while. And then dinners, I make a lot of like burrito bowls, pasta. I'm trying to branch out more now, which I've kind of accomplished in my last video a little bit. But the video that I haven't uploaded yet. And it's so annoying because I don't remember what I talked about in the last one. I don't think I talked about school in this one. So basically people ask me about school. Oh my god, if I talked about this, I'm so sorry. But so I was supposed to graduate this semester. Oh, I think I did talk about it. Didn't I? But I didn't talk about my career. It doesn't matter. Okay. Beep, beep, beep. Some people asked about clothes, like sustainable clothing brands and stuff. Honestly, it sucks because, well, I did like Reformation. I know they've been in some controversy because of the racism that was called out by the ex-employee, and also some past posts from the owner or founder. I already like forgot a lot of the things that happened because a lot of companies were getting called out at the same time, and a lot of it was blending together in my memory. But yeah, so Reformation is iffy for me because like this is Reformation. I have some Reformation products that I really like, but I do think that there's a lot of issues with them and they are really expensive. But and then there's Everlane, which like I did really like for a while. I have a lot of clothes from them, but they have so many animal products in their catalog, which is really annoying. Just upsetting. But I do have a lot of Everlane stuff. Wow. Oh my god, when I took that earbud out, I'm talking so loud right now. Anyways, but they're an option. They have good jeans, and good, like, I got a travel bag from them that was pretty nice. And they have a lot of things that are made out of like recycled material. Yeah, they're a sustainable brand and also ethical in terms of like labor, but not animals. And then I have some girlfriend leggings that are really nice. I haven't figured out their sports bras. I feel like they just don't work for me. I don't know. But if you need leggings or workout wear, they have really nice stuff. It's expensive, but it's all expensive. I don't know. I don't have a lot of good companies to recommend that aren't expensive. I have some, oh, what's it called? Parade underwear. I bought them off Instagram. I bought like initially, 3 pairs, and then to try them out. And then I have since gone back twice to get more underwear. Like I literally wanted like all of my underwear to be Parade. They're so nice. Like they're so comfortable. They have really cute colors and designs. The combination of like a meshy material, I don't know. It's just like, for me, they're like perfectly designed. Because of the way that I'm built, a lot of underwear doesn't work out for me. So they're made so that you can kind of like adjust them, if that makes sense. Like, I don't know. If you have hips, Parade underwear, check it out. And not too expensive. Also, I think they're pretty affordable for like nice underwear that's sustainably made, and cute. So that's that. And I can't think of anything. I want to be able to go to thrift stores. Like, I'm so sad because I really need summer clothes. Like, I keep running out. I have 2 pairs of shorts that aren't like sleep shorts or workout shorts, and they're just always dirty because I'm always wearing them. Anyways, all right. Vegan alternative that you think needs the most work, like what are you the least satisfied with? Definitely pizza cheese, and cheese for Mexican food. Because while I can definitely make a pizza with vegan cheese that is really good, flavorful, whatever, and I will eat it and be happy and satisfied and not complain about it. But I just know, it could be better. The cheese could always be better. And then Mexican food, I don't know what's going on, but like every vegan cheese brand, they always have mozzarella and cheddar. And I don't understand, of the shreds. Or another thing is that I want to start getting like block cheese, or like the Miyoko's has like a ball kind of thing, so that it can shred it, because I know that's supposed to melt better. But I never see it. It's always just like slices or shreds. So that's something. And Miyoko's is super expensive. But yeah, it's always mozzarella and cheddar. But I don't know why they never have like jack cheese or pepper jack cheese. I did just get some pepper jack cheese from the brand Vevin. I don't know. It's like vegan but with a V in the middle, from Grocery Outlet. And it is pretty good. I haven't tried to make actual, like I haven't made like why don't I do that? Oh my God. I haven't made like a quesadilla with it, but I mixed it into things and it ended up really good. But like I haven't eaten it like in something that's like mainly cheese where you can like really taste it, But anyways, yeah. So cheese for Mexican food, specifically quesadillas, and then cheese for pizza. Because I think grilled cheese I have down, and like cheese for like burgers I have down, and like cheese for mac and cheese I think I have it down. But yeah. Mexican food and pizza. I'm disappointed. But again, I can still make those things. Like I've made good quesadillas. It's just like you kind of have to put in more work to make it taste as good as you want it to taste, because the cheese isn't doing all all of the magic like regular dairy cheese does in a quesadilla. Um, should the idea of vegan insert non-vegan thing be abolished and swapped with totally... Oh, they finished it. Oh shoot, what am I doing? They finished it in my DMs. Where is it? Abolished and just stop trying to replicate animal-based food. I don't have a problem with that. I know a lot of people are somewhat like freaked out by fake meats, or they feel bad eating them. I personally don't have any issue with it. I definitely tried to not eat them too often just because it's a processed food, and like it's always like, well, first of all, it's good to have diversity in your diet, but it's, better to have more of natural protein sources such as like legumes, nuts, seeds, stuff like that, than eating tons of like fake meat all the time. So usually like I try to keep fake meat to like a few times a week instead of making it like a regular. Oh, it's also because it's expensive. But anyways, yeah, that's the only problem that I have with fake meat, fake cheese, whatever. And I've been vegan for almost a decade now, and I still eat those things. So like, yeah, I don't have any problem with it staying a thing. But especially for people who are new to being vegan, I think we need those things. Because it's like, if you're going to go vegan and you're going to not eat those products, it's really hard. Well, it was so long ago, but I would imagine it would be really hard because you're so used to eating these things. And if you just like suddenly stop, like that's going to be super hard to stick with. And so I think we definitely need to have those products and have them be good. For that purpose. But then also like there's people like me who've been vegan for almost a decade, and I still like to have fake meat products and fake cheese and stuff just because they're good. I don't know. Again, like I never think that they should be like a staple in your diet for price concerns, and also for, diversity plus just general health. You shouldn't eat processed foods all the time, if you can help it. But I have no problem with them. Hopefully that answered the question. My skincare routine. I brought all my skincare products out here because I talked about this in the one that I deleted. But basically, my skin has been doing really well lately. And except I always have a collection of zits on my chin. But I've heard that that's more about hormones than it is like your actual skincare routine or whatever. So I'm trying to not worry about it because it seems like no matter how great my skin is otherwise, I always have those. But basically I have problems with dry skin, red skin, irritated, like redness, scaly, like bumpy skin, especially on my nose and around my eyebrows. And so if you have any issues like that, then maybe this will be helpful for you. But I wanted to talk about how I was sponsored by BioClarity in a video like a long time, like maybe 2 years ago now. No, 1.5 years. I don't know. A while ago. I was sponsored by BioClarity, which is the skincare company. And I have not been sponsored by them since. They're not sponsoring this podcast. So nothing I'm saying in here I was paid to say or told to say or anything. They didn't give me these products. But I was using their products that they gave me for the video, obviously, and then once those ran out, because it's pretty expensive, I was like, I'm not gonna buy it again, and went back to whatever cheaper things that I was using, and my skin, like, I realized like how good the BioClarity actually was for my skin. I was like, damn, okay, maybe I will buy it again. But what I did was I have been only or mostly just using it in the morning, and I'll use like cheaper products at in my like nighttime skin routine, so that I'm kind of like going through them slower, and hopefully like saving some money doing that. But and the cheaper product that I've been using for in combination with it, I've been using this Trader Joe's Ultra Hydrating Gel Moisturizer, which I think was only like $8 for this jar, and it lasts a long time. Like, you don't need that much of it to cover your face. And when I wash my face, I was gonna say the two main things though that I think have been really helping me is this konjac sponge. I'm not sure how you say it. I use this. It's biodegradable, and I think you're supposed to replace it every 3 months. And you just wet it to like soften it and be able to use it. Like run it under water for a little bit, or you can soak it in water for a minute or so. I don't know. I just run it under water for a little bit, and it becomes soft fairly quickly. And then I just kind of exfoliate and like rub in my face wash with this as I'm like washing my face, instead of just like smoothing it on with my hands. And so that kind of does like a light exfoliation rather than something more harsh. And then also I've been using this tea tree oil stuff I put it on after I moisturize every morning and every night, and I've been doing it for months. And I think that this is like the main thing that I have to thank for how like soft and smooth my skin has been in comparison to before. I put a drop on my forehead and a drop on either cheek, and then I just like gently rub it in. Someone recommended me this a long time ago on Instagram, and at first I was like, I don't think it's doing anything. But once I started doing it every day after moisturizing, morning and night, it was like, I think it really started helping. I'm almost out of it, so I'm gonna have to get more. I've also been using like toners, so I'll do toner or like hydrating facial mist or whatever, and then I will moisturize, and then I'll use the oil. But I don't know if they do anything, so I'm almost out of this one. And I'm not recommending this one. I just use it because I have it, because I got it free from a company. But I think it's really expensive, so I'm not trying to tell you need to get that. But like once I run out of that, which it's almost gone, I'm just not going to buy any more toner and see if it makes a difference. But yeah. And someone asked me what's my favorite flavor of claw, and I was really confused. I think they mean White Claw, though. I thought it was like a typo. I was like trying to think of what they could have been trying to say. I've never had White Claw. I am sorry. I'm not really a drinker. I only really drink to make other people not feel bad about drinking alone. Or for myself to not be left out. I sometimes enjoy drinking, but I'm just not much of a drinker. It's not very fun for me a lot of the time. I've tried Truly, which I've heard is similar. Truly's pretty good. The lemonade one was pretty good. Shout out my friend Kristen for having me try it. Someone asked, why did you fall off the face of the internet for a while? I always do that. It's horrible. I'm always apologizing for how shitty I am at being a content creator, and I'm apologizing for apologizing all the time. But I'm just really bad at keeping a schedule and at not hating my own content constantly. That's my main issue, really, is that I will make something and then I will procrastinate editing it because I just don't like it, and I don't want to edit it because when I edit it I will be reminded of how much I don't like it and how, like, all the things that I want to change about it, and my, then that also leads me to, like, procrastinate finishing that video by starting a new video, and then that's just the cycle that, like, I'm never happy with what I make. And I think what I really need to do is, like, branch out and make other kinds of content, instead of just, like, being stuck in the same content over and over again. That's definitely something that I need to work on, but it's kind of hard. I'm having a hard time having motivation right now and inspiration. And also, like, it's kind of depressing sometimes making a lot of food for a video when sometimes I like to, like, invite friends over or whatever to, like, help me eat the food, because yeah, there's a lot of things where it's like, I want to make this for a video, but then I'm like, do I really want to put all that work in and make that just for myself? And then I end up doing it, and then it's just like, I spent so long washing dishes alone. But yeah, so feel free to keep pestering me to make other kinds of videos. I need to do that for my own mental health and happiness. It's just hard. Yeah. Is there anything else I should speak about? Did I talk about my exercise routine? I'm not sure if I did in this one. If I didn't, I will say right now, I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself, but I need to not do this again where I, like, record a podcast episode multiple times, because it's just, like, it's so hard to remember what I did and didn't say. But I have been regularly exercising for the first time in my life since, like, high school. That's really sad. But I hope that can maybe motivate you guys, knowing that someone who is so shitty at regularly exercising can be doing it right now, that you can be doing it too. The trick, I think, was, well, I had a bout of inspiration, which I won't go into because it's personal. But yeah, I was very motivated to care about my appearance and work out, get toned, build some muscle. And I was like, and also just, like, I have back problems from, like, sitting at a computer all day, and sometimes I sleep in bad positions. So yoga is so great. And, like, I didn't even say that I was doing yoga, but yoga is really great. My, like, routine, I guess, is just, like, I say I'm going to do yoga every day of the week. It never ends up being every day of the week, but the goal is to do it every day of the week. You know what I mean? Because if I say that I want my routine to be I do yoga 5 days a week, I will do it 3 days a week or 2. But if I say I want to do yoga every day of the week, then there's always going to be days where I feel like shit, or, like, I don't have time, or I woke up late or whatever, later than I already do. And so then, I just don't do it on those days, and I don't beat myself up about it because I still did it 5 days of the week or 6 days of the week or whatever. And I want to, I have been doing it fairly regularly all of quarantine, which I'm really proud of. I started a little bit before quarantine, but I'm mostly just doing 30-minute and 40-minute yoga routines. I try to do ones that are focused on, like, toning or building muscle, or they're kind of a little bit more like Pilates kind of stuff, where it's not like they are yoga for workout or exercise yoga, that I try to make myself sweat to some degree, or, like, work my muscles instead of just doing sorry, my dog is sneezing. instead of doing like the yoga that's more for stretching or for relaxing or for, stuff like that. I do, if I feel like really tired or just like lazy and shitty, whatever, on a certain day, but I still want to do some yoga, then that's when I'll do one that's like stretch yoga or like relax yoga or something like that. But yeah, I usually try to stick with the ones that are like a focus on toning or weight loss or whatever, even though my goal is not weight loss. It's just toning and like losing fat, gaining muscle. But I forgot what I was going to say, which I have accomplished to some degree. I can say that I have noticed a difference. Nothing crazy, nothing big, but hey, my mom noticed. So no, but just I forgot oh yeah, so I've mainly just been doing 30-minute and 40-minute ones. A lot of time 30 minutes. But I do want to like start doing longer yoga practices. But I just need to wake up earlier because it's always like it's already 10 a.m., 11 a.m. and I'm like, damn it, like I don't want to do like an hour long yoga now and it's so late. But yeah, so that's my routine. And I'm getting really hungry all of a sudden. So, yeah. Oh, someone said thoughts on all the big YouTubers getting canceled / leaving the platform. This will be the last thing I'll talk about, I guess. But basically, the only ones that I really know much about is like Shane Dawson and Jenna Marbles. I know there's like a lot of stuff going on right now between Shane, Jeffree Star, Tati, James, all that stuff. I don't know, like I haven't been keeping up with it too much. I know the basics, but like I'm not going to talk about all of that because I don't know enough about it, I think. I don't watch any of them because I think they're all some degree of toxic. And I just don't want to deal with it's just too much. Like at that point, I think when you're that involved in drama and controversy that much, and that's not necessarily about that's mainly about Jeffree Star and also Shane, but like when you're involved in like that many controversies and like that many situations where you've offended people, like I think there's no excuse. Like it's not that hard to not constantly offend people and cause drama. Like at that point, maybe you're the problem, you know? So anyways, yeah, I don't watch any of them, but I do sometimes keep up with the drama. But basically with Shane, like the last time I was watching Shane was when he was doing the I did watch the Tana Mojo series. And that was the first time that I watched Shane for a long time before that. Like I think the last time I was watching him regularly, I don't know if I ever really watched him regularly. But I've always seen his videos over the years because he's just always been popular. But anyways, I was watching his Tana series. I did watch some of his Jeffree series just because I sometimes like the drama. Okay. He always did irritate me though in the Jeffree one because he was constantly complaining about how he's poor. And I get that it's like in comparison to Jeffree Star, but like it was just so annoying because it's like, bitch, like you make so much money off of YouTube and like live in LA in like a large house. Like what? Please stop. Like again, like he can make jokes about like the comparison between him and Jeffree, but like he just was constantly saying he was poor and it was really annoying and just so stupid. But yeah, all the racist stuff. I was definitely aware that he had made very racially problematic videos back then, but I definitely wasn't aware to what extent. Like I don't know, cuz I don't know what I actually saw like as a child. I remember watching him, but I don't know how much I actually watched him. I don't think I was watching any YouTubers that like regularly. Um but anyways, wow, he did a lot. Like he really just went all into the racism brand of comedy, which is really cool. But yeah, I've seen the compilations of him more recently of like all the stuff that he did, all the blackface that he did several times. And oh my god, when Jenna did her video and I went back to watch her Nicki Minaj video just because I was like, I remembered watching it, but so long ago that I did not remember like at all how bad it was or whatever. And also because I a lot of the articles were talking about, they were making it all about like blackface for her, which like I'm not going to argue at all. First of all, I'm not going to say that it's my job to forgive her for making racially problematic content when like it's not me that was offended. But I was a little irritated that it seemed like most of the articles that were talking about her were just focusing on Jenna Marbles apologizes for putting on blackface or whatever. And it's like, that's not what it's all about. Like, first of all, that's not the only thing that she did. And like, I think a lot of the articles made it seem like it was all about the fact that she like made her like the actual like making her skin darker for the video or whatever, which is like that leads to a lot of people arguing like, well, she looked the same that she did in her Lady Gaga video, which I went back and watched for proof and I was like, yeah, she literally was that tan back then, which is just cringe. But yeah, it's like that, like, no, she didn't. So it's, I don't know, it's like complicated because it's like she didn't put face makeup on her face to look darker, or at least from what I can see, she looks the same as her other videos back then. But it's more about like the content of the video, like what she was saying and like the stereotypes that she was kind of like poking fun at. And so I think a lot of the articles like kind of lost the point of like her whole thing was like, that's not, anyways. And the fact that it wasn't just that, like there was other things that she talked about. But anyways, that's for another discussion. Yeah, anyways, so I keep saying anyways, but I did go back to watch her Nicki Minaj video because I wanted to see what it was even like. And then the Shane Dawson Nicki Minaj video came up also, and I was like, oh my god, for comparison, I should see what this is. Big mistake, because his was like so much worse. Oh my god. Just like within 2 seconds, he's already like using the T slur and saying you can see like her dick or whatever. Just so bad about Nicki Minaj. And that's in combination with the blackface and fake booty. You know, and again, like I'm not trying to say, like I said on Twitter, like I'm not trying to say Jenna is perfectly unproblematic because Shane was worse. I'm so like I personally am inspired by Jenna. I think she's a very genuine person, and I think she's one of the only YouTubers that I've seen that actually puts together a good apology and like genuinely seems like she gives a shit and like feels bad about what she used to do and is like actively trying to be better and listen to people when they call her out for things. At least now. She probably was more immature about it back then, but now, I mean, she's an inspiration to me. And I don't have things in the past that I don't have anything to worry about personally. At least I don't think. I am sure there's like some things that are like slightly problematic or ignorant that I've said somewhere online, but I've never done blackface or like dressed up in a offensive Halloween costume or anything like that. And I can attribute that to, first of all, having a diverse friend group in high school that, you know, if I were to do something racially problematic, I think I would have been called out for it by them. Like, I don't know. I think a lot of people that do those things in their early years, like they were surrounded by only like white friends and family, and so like no one was there to say anything if they did something racially problematic. um yeah, not to say like if I didn't have those friends I would have done things, but I just mean like I think having other people of other perspectives of life around you at a young age like helps you learn how to think about others' perspectives on things more often, I guess that's just common sense, but and also I can attribute it to being on Tumblr in middle school, which not to say that Tumblr didn't also give me negative influences too, but there's a lot of social justice type stuff on Tumblr back then, and I think that what am I even talking about? Basically, I'm not like Jenna where I have things in my past on the internet where I'm ashamed of them, but if I did, I would hope that I would be able to put forth an apology as thorough as she has. But what I was going to say was a lot of people are calling out cancel culture sucks or whatever for canceling Jenna. But it's like she wasn't canceled. She did this like of her own choice, Like I'm sure there was some people who were trying to call her out for her old videos currently. I'm sure there was some people talking about that. And I think she's just the kind of, but what I'm saying is definitely like the vast majority of the internet and her fans don't, they're not holding her to that anymore because they know that she's changed and grown and she would never do those things now. But I think she's just the kind of person who can't help but pay attention to that small percentage of people who are still bothered by that thing. And I think sorry, I'm itching my head. I think that's admirable of her to be someone who listens to those people always. But I do think that it's really unfortunate that someone like her who does put forth effort to be better feels so strongly in response that she needs to leave the platform when people like Shane, who have done so many more things, so much worse things, and continue to do toxic things, create toxic content and start drama with people in his seasoned age. I just wish that some of the guilt that Jenna feels could be transferred over to other people. But at the same time, like, she's an adult. Like, if she wants to make that decision, like, don't cry to her that she needs to come back, and don't cry to cancel culture for canceling her when they didn't. Like, that wasn't cancel culture. That was maybe like a few people, or just her own guilt. I don't really know, but there was no hashtag Jenna is over party. So I don't know. It sucks. Like, I loved her content. I would always watch it with my mom. That was like our little thing. She would ask me like, oh, we haven't watched Jenna in a while. Or she would forget their names and she'd be like, we haven't watched the dog people in a while. But yeah. So I keep losing my train of thought. Whoop. But yeah. And as far as Shane, like, oh my god, I did not know at all the just wow. Like, all the pedophilia jokes. I remember hearing about like Shane Dawson is a pedophile like a couple years ago or whatever, when it initially was like being a controversy. And I kind of just, I mean, I didn't look into it much, but I kind of just thought it was like a similar thing to like the cat thing, where it was like a really bad joke taken out of context. And while I think, you know, partially some of those things were like bad jokes taken out of context, you can't ignore like the multitude of pedophilia and sexual harassment and statutory rape comedy that he was involved in. Like, when you look into those threads where they just lay out all the different things that he did, it's like there's a huge difference between somebody who maybe made a couple jokes about rape, or a couple jokes about like pedophilia or something like that, which not that I'm saying that that's okay, but I'm just saying there's a huge difference between someone with a bad pedophilia joke from 10 years ago and then someone who has like a history of pedophilic related content and jokes from their past. Like, that's not something that normal people have in their past. And I think also the racist content too. It's like Jenna, like, again, it's like I think it's good that she apologized and that she discussed it, and it showed the things that she did rather than trying to gaslight her audience, especially her audience members of the races that she offended, that, you know, blah, blah, blah. You know, she's not gaslighting them. She's showing exactly what she did. She's discussing it. She's saying why it was wrong. She's saying she's never going to do it again, blah, blah, blah. Like, I think that's forgivable. Again, I'm not saying like it's my duty to choose whether I forgive her, because I'm not the one offended by it. But I think that's, you know, forgivable. Whereas like Shane, oh my God, like, no, like, that's not a normal, what? Like, I don't know. That's just crazy. Like, I can't imagine building my career off of pedophilia and racism. Like, that's just insane that he's like as popular as he is today. And it's like, I don't know him, you know. I'm not going to be the judge of like whether he's changed or not. But it doesn't really matter to me whether he is like changed in those senses, when he still continued to make toxic content like in other ways. And like, you know, I watched some of it. I watched the Tana series. I watched the Jeffree series. I'm guilty. So, you know, like, I'm not saying that like everyone who watched it is evil, but once it sunk in like how annoying he had been being about all this drama and stuff, and yeah, it just, I don't know, like, grow up, literally. Like, I'm not gonna get, okay, I need to stop talking about this. But at the end of the day, there's so many other creators that you could be watching that don't have problematic pasts, and so it's like, why not just support them, you know? So yeah. I forgot what else I was gonna say. Should probably just end it now. The armpits of my shirt are like crusty. I'm a little concerned. I recently washed it. So that's fine. Did I ruin my shirt by sweating too much? Maybe. All right. Is that all the drama right now? I don't even know if there's anything else going on. Another thing, no, I don't want to get into that. Basically, I'm sad about Jenna, but she's an adult. let's not baby her, and let's also not blame cancel culture for what was her decision at the end of the day. And also, I'm glad she apologized. I think that's good. I think that's a good thing. I just think that she maybe should have made it more clear in her video that this isn't the work of cancel culture. Don't blame cancel culture. Just, that this is her decision. Being on YouTube for so long, blah, 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 stress, which is valid. Yeah. And then Shane, I don't give a shit about him. He can... Honestly, I don't think anything's going to happen to him. I think he's going to be like, wah, stop making videos for a month, and then be back with more like drama, toxic content, and continue to be friends with other drama, toxic people. Woo! Okay. All right. Okay. I hope this was somewhat entertaining. Oh my God. Oh, wait. It says it's an hour and 37 minutes, but I don't think it's actually, because I think I started it over a bunch of times. Oh my God, did I talk about that for like a half hour? I probably did, huh? Well, it's fine. Some people will still listen to it, hopefully. Okay, let's go. I'll get better at these the more I do them. And also, if I do them more often, I'll feel less like I have to talk. Like I have so much to say. So yeah, please leave in the comments things that you want me to talk about in the next one. If, and then the days that come, you can also DM me other things too. You can send me things that you see that you want me to maybe address or whatever. Yeah, anything that has to do with veganism, vegan food, vegan lifestyle, the vegan community. So like vegans, vegan gossip, vegan drama. I don't know how much I want to get into that, but we can think about it. And other forms of ethical business, ethical lifestyle, sustainability, whatnot. Okay. All right. Thanks for listening. Love you guys. Hope you're doing okay. Wear a mask when you go outside. And please don't go to social gatherings unless it's like you and 2 other friends in your backyard with masks on, 6 feet apart, not sharing food, hand sanitizer nearby. Okay, bye.